What up, boys? Welcome back to the channel where we do shit Colts way. Today, we at a buddy of mine's house. He's got this 2022 Platinum right here, carbonized gray. We're gonna put a 4-inch BDS Coil-over on it. He's got some Road Armor. What kind of bumpers are they again? Identity. Yeah, Road Armor Identity bumpers. Put them on. They're at the paint shop right now, so this be the lift. Then he's got a bunch of rigid lights we're fixing to put on, tires and wheels. But we're gonna go step by step like we always do, and we'll show you how to put this coil-over lift on. So stay tuned. I'm gonna run through these products and show you what we got real quick, and then we'll get started. All right, so he's got, I don't know what kind of fuel wheels they are. Do you remember?
I think Blitz.
Fuel Blitz maybe, 3713, 2012 MTs. He's got all these rigid lights that are gonna go in the bumpers and everything else. These are the rigid Midnight series, so they're gonna be black. You're not, it doesn't look like a normal light. It's blacked out, which is pretty damn sweet. So here's the radius arms. It's BDS 4-inch. I'm sure you'll see what's all in these boxes when it's time. One thing that sucks that happened to him, he had to wait 5 months for this kit to come in, and he ordered the ones that have the it's got 2 adjustable things. What's it called? Or
Dual speed compression?
Yeah, he ordered the ones with the dual speed compression, but they sent him where it just has 1. So they're like, oh, well, you're gonna have to wait another 16 weeks. So we're gonna put this on right now. BDS is gonna send the other one, and when it gets here, he'll put it on, but you don't need to see how to do that. But it just sucks he has to wait another 16 weeks for that. But so there's this truck, 2022, the redesigned interior, the big screen and everything, carbonized gray. We just, I don't know what the hell just happened. We was trying to put it up on this lift over here, and he was gonna do it real easy. And then this shit pulled out of the concrete right here, and this one too. I mean, he's had mulching machines, he's had his truck up on here before. We don't know what happened, but so now we got to do it on jacks. So that's more Colts way anyway. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll knock this shit out. All right, boys. So first steps first. You know, I don't think I have to show y'all how to friggin' jack up the truck, but we got the truck lifted on all 4 corners. Tires are off the ground. Old trusty limited edition latte. That's what I'm talking about. So we took a regular old jack, jacked it up, put this under it, you know, got 2 on each side, then did the other side. So jack your shit up, okay? We got it right here on the frame, went right to the other side, lined it up right there on the frame. Before the bend up is where we got it. So right here. So you can put it wherever you want, I guess. Just make sure your truck's balanced. All right, damn. Once you got it jacked up, take the damn wheels off. Simple. What we did, put tape on these wheels right here, just in case, you know, the new Times wheels came with sensors, but just in case something messes up, whatever, you got front right sensor, rear right, left right, just marked them. Shouldn't have no problem, and it's probably pretty easy just to go somewhere and have them do the little thing, but that's what we did. All right, first thing you need to do, we kind of got some jacks up under the axle right here and just kind of lifted it up just a little bit. And then you got this track bar right here. This is a 30 millimeter. We didn't have a 30 millimeter socket, but we had a 1 3/16". So we use an 1 3/16". Basically the same thing as a 30 millimeter. So you need to take this off, bust it loose. So anyway, that's what we're finna do. I'll just video you doing a little bit of it. All right, take that sumbitch off. So you can take this bolt out of here and just beat it out. All right, we got to remove this brake bracket right here, and then this one down here. This up here is a 13 millimeter bolt. This one down here is a 10 millimeter bolt. So we're going to loosen those real quick, and then we'll proceed with this. All right, so we got those bolts out. Now we're going to remove this little retaining clip right here. Try not to blind it. Should just, we think, pull out. Yep, so there's that clip. Pull it out. So we got all that off. Now you can't get this clip off, you've got to cut it. So we got this cutting wheel right here. We're gonna hold it with some channel locks, and we'll cut it so that we can get it, you know, we can get it off this brake line. So you got to cut that.
Because it comes with a new rack.
Yeah, because it comes with a new one. So Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we just cut that end right there, and we put channel locks on it and just bent it. We just put one little cut in there and then bent it. And it comes right off. So, yeah. But you got to keep your bolts. You're going to reuse your bolts that you took out. So once you got the brake lines, everything loose, you've got to come over here, and this vacuum line right here, it's tagged in there. You just got to pull that up, you know, pull it up so that when you drop the axle, there's adequate, so it doesn't pull that line too tight. Don't really have to film that, but it's just a, you know, just a tab you got to pull out. It's simple. So now it's out, you know, so now when the axle drops, it'll have enough room. There's another one on the other side. I'm not going to film both sides. We're going to do one side on the front, and I'll probably film one side in the back, and it's the same. If we run into some huge problem and it's different, then yeah, we'll address that when we get there. But you know, in order to make this video not 10 hours, we're gonna do one side, and if one side's different than the other, I'll show that specific part. All right, so the next thing we gotta do is disconnect the sway bar up here from the frame. It's a 15mm bolt, so you're gonna do it on both sides. So driver and passenger, you'll take these off where this can come out. All right, next step, he's over there removing that other vacuum line that we talked about earlier on the passenger side. You got to remove it too. Next step, you got to remove the hardware from the bottom of the shock on both sides. So you'll leave the top hardware in place, and you're going to remove this bottom shock hardware, and you're going to have to keep your hardware because you'll be reusing the bolt and everything, but remove the bottom side of the shock on both sides. Leave the top connected. All right, when you're taking the lower shock off, the lower bolt, it's 18, right? Yep. 18mm, and you won't need one on this side because it's got this flange that doesn't allow it to spin. So you just need, you don't have to like back it up on this side is what I'm getting at. All right, so we did the brake lines on the other side. We're finna do it on this side too, and then we're gonna remove the bottom bolt on the shock as well. So we're not gonna film all that because we just did it. All right, what we're gonna do now, we've got everything disconnected, both shocks on both sides, brake lines. We're gonna lower the axle, and that way we should be able to get the shock out. So, you know, most people probably only have one jack. We got one on each side, so he's going to probably lower one at a time, a little, then do the other. But once we get this lowered, I'll video taking this shock out of here. But everything is disconnected now, and we've got enough play to lower it and get the shock out. I mean, the spring, dumbass. All right, so he dropped that other side, and then he was able to drop this side a little bit more. Yeah, just, can it come any more? I mean, I think I could get it with two hands, to be honest. I know I can probably get that. Yeah, it's plenty. I just can't do it two-handed. Might have to take that rubber piece out, but anyway, y'all know what we're doing. We're just taking the damn shock out. And if this, boom, smart man right there. You see what he did? He lifted the damn rubber and took that out. So do that on both sides. All right, so next step, this is a 15mm. We're going to take this off. This is your stabilizer right here. So take this 15mm off, follow that down to the end, and it's going through this right here, and it is an 18mm. So you'll take this bolt, that bolt off, and you'll be able to get this stabilizer out. Then you see, let me see if I can get to that other side and show you. Then where your track bar went up to this bracket right here, you're gonna have to take these bolts out. There's 1, 2, how many's on the other side?
3, should be 5 total.
Should be 5 total, so this bracket's gonna have 5 total bolts. I can't get the GoPro in there to show you, but there's 1, 2, and there's 5 on there. You just have to get on there and find them. So take that sumbitch off too. When I figure out what size that is, I'll tell you. Well, we got one of these tie rod end forks because we took the stabilizer bolts and we took the nut off and couldn't get it out, so he's going to try to beat it and pry it out like this. So you might have to. See, this ain't one to come out. I don't know why. You want me to come over there and hold it? I can pause it and then let them know what happens when we get there. All right, so what we had to do is just beat the hell out of it. Like, yeah, there you go. We tried that little pry thingy, whatever the hell it is. I ain't no damn mechanic, but I mean, literally had to beat the shit out of this right there, and then it finally come loose. Just had to beat the hell out of the end of that, and it finally come out. It was hard, pain in the ass. I'm just gonna be honest. So now we got to take this little old, what is that, Cotter Pin? That's what I call them, it's a Cotter Pin. I don't know what most people call them, but you got to take this Cotter Pin out and pull that out, and then you got to take this nut off. Is this the Pitman Arm? Yeah, so anyway, we got to take this off, pull that out, and I don't remember what size nut that is, but when we figure it out, I'll tell you. All right, this is a 24. So take that sumbitch off. All right, now we're gonna beat this sumbitch out. They used I've seen somebody use an air thing to pry it. We don't have none of that shit, I don't think, so we're just going to have to beat it. So just beat the hell out of it. Hit it with your purse. That son of a bitch ain't coming, is it? Alright, so we beat the hell out of it and it wouldn't come, so we got this gear puller here, and now we're trying to get it like that, so should be, looks like it seems to be coming pretty easy. So we literally beat it for like 5-6 minutes and we got the gear puller on it, and 4 seconds later it's coming out. So you're not gonna be able to beat it unless you just stronger than us. We must have been hitting it with our purse, but this gear puller did it just fine. So we got it out most of the way. It kind of got stuck and we didn't want to beat it from the bottom and mess the threads up, so we're going to loosen this. And this right here is just a clamp where it allows us to twist this, and then we'll be able to twist it, and it should be able to pop out a lot easier then. So what is it, 15 millimeter?
15 millimeter.
We're going to loosen it.
So this one here, this bolt, you will have to loosen it because it's nothing but a tab to keep the bar from turning and unthreading. But this needs to be unthreaded too, because this acts like a clamp, or unbolted a little bit loose.
Yeah.
Because all it does is act like a clamp on that. So I'm going to loosen this up, slide this a little further out of the way, and we'll be able to turn it and get it out. And it has to be turned anyway on the install later on. So
yeah, we just want to throw this little stuff in that nobody shows. All right, so we got that clamp over there loose, and now you can bend the bar, and now we can easily get it up. See how you can bend that and just push that up? Comes right out. Boom, son. So now we got to take this bracket off, like we were talking about earlier. There's 3 bolts up top up there. See them? And I showed you the 2 on the side, one here and one here. And you don't have to get a nut on the back. You don't have to get none on the back side because it's built in or whatever. So you just have to loosen it here. So 3, 4, 5. Take those off and the bracket will come out. I'm not gonna film that. So I got my hand down there. Got my hand down there taking that bracket off. I'm gonna take me a little break. Look at this badass shit right here. Bush Light. We got the freaking limited edition bass largemouth on there. What? Digging it, son. I think that's largemouth. Anyway, little latte break never hurt nobody. Once my hand gets that bracket off, we'll tell you what size they were. So you ain't got to go digging around looking for what I need this. We'll let you know. So peace. All right, so we're on the last bolt, the one closest to the Pitman arm, and there's like 0 room in there. What size is this? 13/16? It's a 13/16. There's 3 bolts up there.
up against this coolant hose.
And it's right up against the coolant hose, and there's like 0 room. So this one's just going to be a pain in the ass. Kind of want to just put that in the video. Just take your time, and then once we get to these 2, I think they're a different size. I'll let you know. All right, this is what fell. This is what was holding the back side of that bracket, and the 3 bolts we took out up top. Now these 2 are 18 millimeter, and obviously when he takes these out, the bracket's going to fall. So just be wary of that. So we'll pause it right now, but he's got that other bolt, and then the bracket will come off, and you know how to do that shit. My God. All right, now what we got to do is take this Pitman arm. That's Pitman arm, huh? Yeah. It's a big ass freaking behemoth 1 and 13/16 socket, but we got this badass Milwaukee. If you ain't got this sumbitch here, it'll bust lug nuts loose, it'll bust everything loose. I mean, this sumbitch right here is legit.
If it'll fit.
But oh, you cocksucker! All right, it ain't fitting, so it's gonna fit.
We're gonna figure something.
We'll figure. I don't know. We'll report back when we figure this out, but. Just about like everything else, it ain't fitting. You got to air it. All right, you know we had to go get the trusty wobble socket. Boom, son. Whoop. Anyway, get you a wobble socket. It'll come off like that. All right, so you got to get you a gear puller or something up on this Pitman arm. You know, we're trying to get it tight and it'll pull it out, but just letting you know we're using the gear puller to take this off. So After about fucking 20 minutes and 30 different gear pullers, we got this one, and we had the gear puller pulling down and beat it with the hammer, and it fell down. I didn't have it filming, but get over it. That's what we did. Literally sitting here for 30 minutes trying to dick with that. So we got the Pitman Arm nut right here and the new Pitman Arm, and it says to put thread locker on the nut, so that's what we're going to do real quick sometime today. So anyway, we're just going to run that thread locker on that nut before we put the new Pitman Arm on. Anyway, so you see that. All right, so we put the new Pitman Arm back up there. We'll put this. I'm gonna let you do it before I cross thread it. If it was just my peasant truck, I wouldn't care. So we got the new track bar bracket we're going with now. It's gonna, you know, obviously go where the other one was, but you gotta, it says you might have to, there's a hard line right here. So when you put the new bracket up, it says you might have to kind of move this line over a little bit, kind of rearrange it so it doesn't hit. So if we gotta move it any, I'll tell you, but see it goes up in these 3 holes right here, so you might just have to raise it up a little bit. But that new bracket's about to go on. Self-explanatory, use the same bolts that you took it off with. Real simple. We're just going to go ahead and take the shocks off. It told us not to yet, but we're not following the directions. We're doing it Colts way. So we got to take the shocks off. This little wire here is connected on top. You'll just pull it up and move it out of the way, and then you'll take that nut off the top, and then you'll pull the shock out from underneath. I don't know what size it is, but we'll tell you in a minute. All right, so we're just using a crescent wrench up here to get this, but you can't spin that without putting another wrench on this. So there's a nut down here. If you do this, it's just going to spin the bottom, so you got to hold it here and here to loosen it. But we're using a crescent wrench. We tried a 19 millimeter and it was bigger than that. We just got the red ass and grabbed a crescent wrench. So we're going to have crescent wrench here, and it'll break it loose. So what we did is we got a 13/16 right here, and if you can't just loosen it from the top, you got to have something holding the bottom nut. So we put these vice grips on the bottom to take the top nut off, and it's a what, 13/16? Yeah, 13/16. So that's what you got to do. All right, now that we got the shock out of the way, we're gonna hit the bump stop out of the way, hopefully. Yeah, just beat it out like that, and then there'll be a 10 millimeter nut up under there you gotta take out. So take it out too. Okay, bye. All right, Dix, it's day 2. We're back. Got that mullet fresh out the shower, a little head and shoulders. What you know about that? So we had to stop last night. We come start again today, and I'll just kind of show you where we stopped last night. And I mean, you'll see on the video, but I'm just gonna do a little recap. So let me turn this camera around and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so last night, last thing we did was we took that shock off and the bump stop. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the new bump stop on. It's got a pretty big drop bracket, but that's where we stopped last night. And that's where we're gonna start today, so let's roll. All right, so here's the extended drop bracket. Now, there's your bump stop right there. Now, this has a cutout on it. You see this little hole? So this little cradle is gonna have to go in there like that. I mean, you can't fuck that up. And then you're going to use your stock hardware to when you mount it back into the truck, that goes up top like this. It'll sit like this. So you use your stock there, and then you've got new hardware for this, and it'll be in your bag over there. But you just put that through, and then once we install this to the truck, I'll video that part. But he's just going to put this bolt in there. Pretty damn simple. So as you're putting, this is the one that goes up in the top right up here. It says to put thread lock on this, so that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, just know that we're putting thread lock on it, and I'll video when we're putting it in. All right, if this will fit. That bump stop over there on the, oh, you brought it. You can put a little hair around that hole, or? It probably won't fit, huh? and then this goes up in there on the bottom. I don't gotta film that. Y'all know that. All right, so got this secure. Put the bump stop. You just take the rubber and push it up in there. So it's real simple. Got that done. What's next? I know we got to cut these with a Sawzall. I'd be crying if it was my truck, but.
I think we're gonna do the radius arms next.
Radius arms next. All right. So we're up under here. The radius arms. Okay, this top nut. This one's welded on, so you don't have to hold this one. You can just loosen it from the other side. This bottom one, you're gonna have to hold it, because it's not welded on. And then looking over here, that top one is not welded on, so you're gonna have to hold both sides of each one of these. Just the only one that's welded on is this top one. So what is this? 15/16?
Yep.
These are 15/16. We're gonna bust these loose and see where we go. So he's putting the impact on that one since it's welded. And we're loosening these. I'm gonna cut the video. All right, so we got those two bolts in the front of the radius arm out. Now, you would think this bolt back here would be the same, 13/16 or 15/16, but it's not. This is bigger. It's an inch and a 1/16. So this is a little bit bigger. It's not gonna be the same size as the front. And just relaying that info. All right, so we got that driver side radius arm out. This was the back bolt right here. Now we're just finna do the same thing on the passenger side. 3 bolts. It ain't that hard, just figure it out. All right, so when I said we were gonna do the passenger side, I lied. You're supposed to do one side at a time. So we still got the passenger side radius arm in. We went over here, read the directions, because we never do. But they this is what they supply you with, these shims right here and these bolts. And they give you these two longer bolts right here. You'll use the factory bolts on everything but the bottom right here on both sides, because you put these shims in there. So if you got a 2.5 inch, if you're doing a 2.5 inch lift or less, you put this shim toward, or this hole where the hole's towards the back, like that. If you're doing a 4 inch lift like we are or higher, you'll take this and you'll flip the hole around to the front of the radius arm, so it goes like that. So that's why these bolts are longer, because you got that little bit longer shim in there. But you got to know that a 4 inch lift or higher, the offset hole goes towards the front. A 2.5 inch lift or less, the offset hole goes towards the back. And it's shimmed, so like we're doing a 4 inch, so it's going towards the front. Anyway, that's pretty easy, but you got to make sure that's right, or you're gonna mess it up. So we're doing ours this way, 4 inch or higher, offset hole towards the front. So we're gonna do the driver side of this, and I'll film that, and then we'll start the passenger side. All right, we're gonna get up under here. Our plan is, I ain't never done this before, but we're gonna put the back side in up top first, let it be supported. Then we'll be able to just lift the front and put the bolts through that. But that's what we're gonna do right now. Is we're just gonna raise this and put this bolt. We're doing the back first, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna try.
We're gonna put this up in here and do that. I don't need to film it all because it's pretty damn self-explanatory. But anyway, I'm gonna pause this and we'll get after it. All right, so we were gonna put this one in first, and we did, and couldn't get that one to go in. So we put the bottom side in first, and then we took this out. And now we've got the bolt in, but we've got to raise up on the radius arm a little bit. So we're using this bottle jack. Just gonna raise up a little bit where this bolt will come through. We don't want to mess the threads up just beating it. I should have got that other block of wood for you. Yeah. But anyway, so we tried this in first, and we just couldn't get that to line up, so we swapped it. Just want to let y'all know, but this is the bolt sticking through. As soon as it hits this up just a little bit, it'll come on through the rest of the way. I don't know if you thought about maybe jacking it up today, or
well, maybe you can get your husband to come over here and do it.
There we go, a little bit. All right, hold that. Them threads should come through. You just got to twist it now. All right, I'm gonna stop recording. You saw the bolt raise, and it's in line now, so that's what you got to do. All right, so we couldn't get this hole to line up. So what we did, we went over on this side and took that top radius arm bolt out, so that now we can twist the axle back, and it should. Now we can grab the axle. So you see how it's coming back there, and we'll get as far as we can and get a pry bar in there. but without us taking that top one out, we couldn't warp the axle back. So that's what we had to do. All right, so we got this bolt in. Once we loosened that radius arm, I got on that end and pushed up and pushed down, and it gave us all the room here to get the bolt in. But you got to have this nut on here because there's not enough room to get. So I'm gonna have to go over there and lift up again. He's gonna pull the bolt out. He'll put the nut on and then put the bolt through, because there ain't enough room to get the nut on without holding it there first. So you need to know that. So I'll go over here and I'll push back up. You ready?
Yep. Hold that. Come down a hair. Hold that. Come down a hair. Or come up.
Up.
Up. Right.
See, I got this radius arm and it's moving that axle up and down. Tell me what I need to do.
I've got it good. I can tighten it up.
I can let go?
Yep.
Okay. Boom, son. All right, so you got to get that wrench in there to hold that nut on the backside, or it's going to spin, because these bolts are, I don't know, they don't thread like easily. They're super hard to thread. So just know you're going to have a wrench on the back to hold that nut.
Don't tighten it all.
Yeah, just don't tighten it all. And we didn't get this in tight either. We just got the bolt in there, the thread, so it couldn't come out. You got to kind of keep it loose.
Just the whole axle.
Yeah.
Track bar back up.
And the axle, like he said, when we hook that track bar back up, you're gonna have to kind of move it left and right or whatever to get it to fit good. So just keep the bolts loose for now. All right, we got both radius arms in now. This side was just the same. We did the same as we did on the other one. Now we're gonna tighten the two front bolts on this passenger side and the driver side. It says not to tighten the one on the frame in the back yet. So we're just tightening this bolt, and we're leaving the one in the back loosened on both sides. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're gonna have to trim this bucket off with a Sawzall. You gotta trim that, you cut that shit off. So, but before you do that, if you look down in here, there's, what is it, the ABS module or something, sensor? There's, I think there's two bolts down there. Is it the ones that are, I don't see them.
Yep. Right here.
Is it on the damn?
See them right there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. You got to remove this bolt. Anyway, you'll see in a minute. We got to remove those two bolts, because when you cut this, you've then got to drill 3 holes up in here, or I think it's 3 holes. But if you've got to move the sensor thing out of the way so you don't drill through it. So what we're doing now is removing it. And what size bolts was it?
13 millimeters.
13 millimeters. So we're gonna do that real quick, and I'll probably film some of it just so you can see a little bit. Might make the video a little longer, but it'll be worth it. Plus it'll give him some light down there where you can see. Is it blinding you?
Nope.
I heard something fall, but so now you can move that thing out of the way. When we drill up there, it won't anyway, you don't want to drill through it. So that's what we're doing, and you got to get that holds it on. So now it can be moved up out of the way for when we drill. And on the passenger side, there's nothing over here except, yeah, so this little, I don't know, I'll have to do it. Once we cut this off, there's gonna be something there we gotta bend up. There's a little tab you gotta bend up. On the passenger side, there's no bracket or ABS thing you gotta take out or none of that. So passenger side's easier. All right, so he's got his Sawzall, and like I said, we gotta cut this as flush as we can. Or I'm gonna let him cut that. He's gotta cut it. Nice. That some bitch looks professional. Cut that sucker flush. Now, of course, we'll just get like a little grinder or whatever and clean up the burrs or whatever. And then you hit it with some black spray paint. So that wasn't as bad as I thought. All right, now he's just gonna grind that down and kind of clean the burrs up on it. We're just seeing if this mount is flush enough to go in there yet.
No, see that little lip?
Kind of get that down a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think otherwise it ain't gonna sit just right.
Yeah. A little bit more grinding. So grinding, it looks a lot better now. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nice. And see, the reason we had to move that ABS thing up there is because you see these holes. You've got to, once this gets up in there, you've got to drill these holes because there's no holes here. You got to drill through there and mount that sumbitch to this. So that's why you got to get that ABS thing out of the way. And does this one have the little ear that has to bend back, or is that just the other side? Okay. All right. So what he did is he just got this little piece of wood up in here, and for this front hole, you'll have to move the wood every time, but he's just worried that, you know, when you drill through metal, once you make the little bit where it finally goes through, it goes up real fast. So he's just putting this up there so when it does go up, it just hits the wood and nothing else, just to be safe. And we're just kind of wanting to throw, that's how we're doing it. You ain't got to do it that way, but that's how we're doing it. All right, so obviously before you put the wood up there, you need to mark it. But anyway, we're putting that up there, and he's got his little paint marker. He's going to mark the holes where we got to drill. So let me see if this is pretty. Looks like it looks pretty straight to me. All right, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 got our holes. Now we're going to drill them. All right, he's got a 5/30 seconds right here. It says start with the 5/30 seconds and work your way up to a 1/2 inch. He just got this here for the shaving, just falling on the brakes and stuff. All right, he had 5/30 seconds. Now he's got a 1/4 inch on there. Now he's putting a 3/8 on there, making the hole a little bit bigger.
All right, so this bucket that we cut off, it's lipped over this perch here. So that's what sets it on. I'm sure it's welded on the inside. So once you drill through this perch, you still have to drill through the bucket. So be mindful of that. I didn't even drill through. I'm just drilling through the first piece of metal. Now I have to still get the other
second piece. Yeah. All right, now he's got the 1/2 inch on the last hole. I think you just need some Milwaukee power. That DeWalt ain't shit.
Call your husband, see if he'll come do it.
All right, got that first hole drilled. Had to switch over to this Milwaukee bit. No big deal. But anyway, now he's got 2 more holes to drill. I ain't gonna film that, but you get the gist of what we're doing. All right, we got the holes drilled, as you can see. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this with some spray paint, let it dry, and then we'll go we'll just start on the other side while this side's drying. And then when we get to that part over there, we'll spray paint it and then come over here and work on this side because the paint will be dry by then. Well, we drilled all the holes, you know, and unless you got some kind of robot drilling that shit, be perfect. The sumbitch, we had to waller the holes out a little bit with the drill bit, and then we're gonna waller them out with this a little as well. Just not a whole bunch, just enough to get a little play within the bolts. But if you find it where it ain't lining up perfect and you can't get it to go in, just have to waller it out like this. No big deal. That shit's gonna be tight enough, there'll be enough weight on it, you know, it's gonna be good. Oh, hell no. It's done almost 12:30 in the afternoon, I ain't even cracked a damn latte yet. This shit ain't gonna work. Let's go out here to the fridge. Largemouth, come on in. Whoosh. Ain't nothing like it. Now we can get some shit done. Let's roll. Just hitting with some spray paint everywhere. Let that dry and we'll go to the other side. All right, so while we're letting the paint dry and everything, you got these BDS things that go right here. And BDS, of course, you'd think that they would have this shit threaded. Well, they don't. You got to pop rivet it. So we're gonna rivet that on, hopefully. But yeah, you'd think it would just be threaded. Nope.
Probably got to put the other one in to hold it level.
So looks good, but yeah, you can't. They're not threaded. You wouldn't think. I don't have a rivet gun, so I'd probably just give me some self tappers and run them some bitches in there. All right, so now we're on to the passenger side. I already made the cut right here, but the one thing on the passenger side that's not on the driver's side. See this tab? You gotta fold this tab up, so you'll have to get something and bend it up. We'll probably get some channel locks or something and bend it up straight, because that's got to get out of the way. But once we, just kind of want to let you see that that's got to be, you got to bend that up out of the way, and that's not on the driver's side. So he's just beating that flap up, so you just got to get it out of the way. Just get it straight up. Does it go straight up or all the way back? Probably just straight up, huh?
It just bends.
Just bend it up out of the way.
Right here, bending it up.
We're coming into an issue on this passenger side when we put this bracket up. See that gap in there? It's because it's hitting this carpet, and it won't fit up in there all the way. Like, what the shit? So try to push this up. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to cut a piece of wood and put it on this bottle jack and just kind of try to jack it up right here to get it out of the way to get that bracket in there. But I don't know. That's what we're going to try to do. We'll keep you posted. All right. So this is kind of a pain in the ass. We literally got the bottle jack down here with this piece of wood. We had to jack this carpet up out of the way in order to get this bracket in there, which was a pain in the ass. I don't know why it's like that, but I'm going to take this out of the way. So we got our holes marked now, and we're going to drill it. But the carpet, you can see this gap, we jacked it up a good bit. So I don't know. It's just a pain. You're going to have to figure that out. That's what we did, jacked it up. All right, so got those 3 holes drilled. Kept this here because we're going to need this carpet up still, and spray painted it. And now the other side that we spray painted earlier should be dry. So we're going to go back to the driver's side and do work over there, son. Let's roll. So we got the bolts. We put them in. Now we're going to put the bracket on, and just self-explanatory. You got nuts and washers. We'll put the bracket on, and I'll start filming when he's done. All right, so we just got the bolts in there. We haven't tightened it down yet. And now we're going to have to take this off. I think it's 18 millimeter. Is it?
Yep.
18 millimeter. And then that's where this one's going to go. So we're going to take it off. All right, so we got the top bracket in. Now we're going to put the bottom bracket in, and you see, I'll wait till he puts it in there. But there's an opening on this bracket, so where it's closed, this wall right here goes towards the wheel. This opening right here is so, just so you know, and it's a 22 millimeter bolt on the new one.
We're keeping that loose.
And we'll keep this loose to help. Well, it's somewhat tight, but the bolts ain't tight.
Hand tight.
But just know when you put this bottom bracket in, the opening goes towards the passenger side. And look, just in case there's any confusion, I know there probably won't be, but we're on the passenger side now doing the bottom bracket, and the opening goes towards the driver's side. So it's like literally the opposite. The driver's side one goes towards the passenger side one, the opening goes towards the driver's side. Just throwing that in there in case it throws somebody off. So yeah, so it's some bit bush. This some bit's probably gonna be about I don't know, I got two 18 packs. So 15, 15 is 30. 8, 15, 16, 36 latte job. Who knows? But I got 2 cases of lattes, 2 18 packs. So we ain't all the way through yet, but we're just gonna try to get there. All right, so here's the damn crown jewel of the project, the coil-over. So we're gonna cut them loose. And they say they're side specific. I don't know if they got them marked or whatever, but I mean, we'll have to figure it out. But left. They're on top. It says left. That's the first son of a bitchin' thing in the whole kit that said where it needs to go. But once we get this plastic off, we'll show you. But obviously, if you're wondering what side, you can see lefty. I'm sure the other one says right. But once I get the plastic out, we'll start it again. Dude, why are you smiling so much?
Because, man, I'm excited. Hey, is it weird that I have a chub right now?
Absolutely not. I've never touched anything this expensive, so. You fucker. Those are sweet, man. The color of it's going to match the truck perfect, too. Like, it's going to be, it's just cool that they came that color. I asked him earlier if he had them painted that color, and he said, no, it's how cool is it they came that, but that's legit. So let's get these suckers in. So he took the bottom in and then laid the front in. And obviously, you know, this right here has got to go toward, this hose has to go towards the front. So, my bad, I'll hold that bolt for you. Gonna have to finagle that sucker in there, huh?
Yeah, there's all kinds of room.
Yeah. There's that washer right there. Did I give you the nut? No. So anyway, got that in there. We'll have to do the same for the bottom. This other bolt right here is going to go in the bottom. And then once we get in there, we can, you know, I don't know what we're going to do next, but we're going to figure it out. Some bitch looks sick. Is it weird that I got a chubby and ain't in my truck?
Not at all.
So anyway, we got to get that bottom. We got to get that bottom bolt in there. If we run into trouble, I'll tell you what we had to do or show it. But it looks like it's just going to come right in there. We might have to maybe lower the axle some. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, so he's over there going to lower the axle a little bit, and maybe it'll bring this down. We're up, perfect. Yep. All right. Pause this real quick. So these metal things are sticking out too wide, so we got to get some channel locks and squeeze them, and then it'll fit through this gap right here. They won't fit without compressing those a little bit. So I think it's in there now. You could probably hit the back of it with the hammer maybe, but you can't. The shock won't go in there without compressing, without squeezing the sides. So he got a rubber hammer now. He's hitting the back of it. He's gonna line it up. We might have to lower the axle a little bit to get that bolt in, but you've got to get them channel locks to squeeze the side of it to compress it some to fit. Where's that bolt? You want the head coming from the left again, the same way, obviously, huh?
I don't care.
Well, I'm trying to make it look halfway decent. All right, lower it some. All right, got that. So we had to use the, like I said, the channel locks to compress it, and then it just takes a little finagling to get the holes lined up. It's close, but it ain't. You're good. Right there, looks close right there, the hole. Yeah. See, we're just fighting inches right here just to get this hole lined up. So just know it's going to just take a little finagling, but I'm going to stop the video. We're going to get it lined up where I can help him. All right, boys, bear with me here just a second. I got a new microphone, and apparently it wasn't plugged in all the way or something. I don't know what happened. But for the next about 5 or 6 minutes in the video, I had to do a voiceover because there was no audio. But it comes back in. It don't take too long. You know, the quality's not as good. I apologize, but this is the best I can do. So just bear with me for about 5 minutes, and then it'll get back to normal. Let's roll. All right, as you can see here, I'm just showing that we've got the bolt in that shock down there, and we're going to tighten it up. I don't think I showed tightening it up on camera, but that's what we did. So I apologize again about the audio. I'm just babbling at this moment right there. Now he's tightening the top. Now you're going to have a wrench on the top and the bottom, or else the bolt or the nut's going to spin on you. So you can see he's got 2 wrenches. All he's doing is tightening that bracket up the rest of the way now. Okay, so now he's putting the ABS module bolt back in. That's the bolt we took out that held the bracket. And then once that's tight, he's going to go up top and put those 2 bolts we took in up top in as well. So that's what we're doing right there. All right, now he's tightening the shock or the coil over 2 wrenches, same time. All right, now this is a little trick. So you got the reservoir right there. Most people, you know, put the one on the far right on, and then they're like, oh shit, how do I get the other one? You got to take the whole band apart. But if you put the band on first and let it just hang down, and then put the other one on, you don't have to open the second band all the way up to run it through. Just a little pro tip. So just like he's doing, put this first band on right here, and then since you put the other band on first, you can roll it up the hose and clamp it without having to expand the band the whole way. All right, now he's just going to tighten the bands down. You don't have to He-Man them, just get them snug, or they're not going to go nowhere. So he's tightening them up, and then we'll proceed to the next step in here in just a second. All right, we're back over at the table now, and we're going to put the front shocks on. So the one with the metal post that was sticking up, obviously the metal post with the threads points up. That where my finger's at on the bushing, that end goes towards the bottom. So most people put grease on it, whatever. He's going to spray some silicone spray on the rubber and the bushings, and we got to put the bushings in there with the metal sleeves. But you can use grease or whatever you want to use. He just is using this silicone spray. So he's going to spray this rubber right there, and he's going to spray the rubber bushings as well. That way they'll slide in there easier, because if you don't, it's going to be a hell of a time to put it in. So you can either do it this way or put it in a vise, and we'll put it in a vise in a minute to put that sleeve in there. But he's just rocking it back and forth, and eventually it'll pop on. It's just kind of a booger. But I think he's going to get another attempt right here, and it'll pop right on. So, yep, popped on. Now that sleeve right there. Now pay attention, you want to get the biggest sleeve, and I'll go over this here in a minute again. We got lucky on the driver's side, but he's just spraying a little lube on there as well, and he's going to put the sleeve in that bushing, and he'll finish it over here on the vise. And you just want to squeeze the vise until you feel the metal to metal on both ends. That way you know you got it in all the way. So once you feel the rubber compress and then the metal, you're there. All right, so now we're on the driver's side shock. There's 2 rubber bushings and 2 metal washers. So the rubber bushing is going to have like a little thing that sticks up. That's going to go in a cutout hole up top, you'll see. And then you grab the washer and you put it like a bowl, like where it's lower in the bottom. And then you'll put that rubber washer up there. It'll go in that little hole right there. It cuts out perfectly right there. So you'll know you got it right when it fits in that hole. Then you're going to take the upper rubber bushing and put it the same way, you know, put the little sticking out part towards the hole. And then the metal washer, you'll put like an upside down bowl, just opposite of what you did the other. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's the rubber washer, and then he's going to put that one like an upside down bowl, and then you can get your nut on it, and you'll start being able to tighten it down. All right, and for this bottom side right here, to get the hole lined up, I just grabbed the skinny part of the cylinder right there, and I bowed up on it, and I pulled it up as high as I could, or just to line the hole up, and then he put the bolt in through there. So you might have to use a jack to get that, but I was able to help him and pull up that cylinder right like that, and he was able to stick the bolt in there. It ain't nothing to do when you got arms like that, son. All right, and you can see that he's tightening the shock right here. Now, you're going to want to hold the shock, because if you don't, it's going to spin on you. So he's got his left hand down there, and he's tightening up top, because you want that fox to be sticking out where people can see you ain't got no cheap-ass Rancho shit. So hold the shock when you tighten it. Okay, so we got the wood holding that up still. We don't really need it at this point, but you see on the back right, that larger bolt, it's not gold, it's silver. The carpet was in the way, so we had to put a longer bolt in the back to suck it up, because the bolts that come with the kit that wasn't long enough to suck it up. We couldn't get no threads on it because that carpet's in the way. So we found a longer bolt, put it in the back, sucked it up, which pulled the plate up inside that cup right there. And then we put the 2 bolts in it, tightened it down. And then what we're going to do is take that silver bolt out and put the gold bolt back in. But putting that longer bolt in there helped us to enable to suck that mountain plate up as high as you can. So that's a little pro tip right there. Hopefully y'all's carpet isn't in the way like this one is, but that's what we did at this point. All right, just showing in here we put that bottom bracket for the bottom shock mount, and we face the opening towards the driver's side. Now this bracket right here, just showing you right there that we put the gold bolt back in. So we took the silver one out. Now we're going to head back over to the table and go over this other shock over here. So just showing you that little part of the video where we tightened it all up and put that lower bracket on there. Okay, so we're at the table, and this is where we got lucky on the driver's side. So the factory bolt only goes through the bigger one of these sleeves. We just grabbed the bigger one on the driver's side. We got lucky. But as you can see, we got the smaller sleeve. There's two smaller sleeves and a bigger one. And the factory bolt does not go through those two smaller sleeves. So when you're putting these in there, if you got the same truck as we got, it's going to take this bigger sleeve. So we've got to take that little sleeve back out of the bushing and replace it with this big sleeve. Just wanted to go over that. Don't make that mistake. All right, so in your kit, you're going to have this little box of different bolts or whatever. We got one over here. I think, as I said, it's 7/16 bolt right here, and it's going to go in to right here, and then it on your bracket that you put on, it threads, or not threads, but it's got a nut on the back side, so it goes. So there's a hole here and a hole on the other side, like this little. There's like a little 90-degree little clip right there. That'll go on this back side, and then you'll put the bolt through this side. Same as on the passenger side. That's just what we're doing right now. So I mean, that shit's pretty self-explanatory. So just figure it out. That's all you got to do. So that's it. So you got we're on the driver's side now. We did the passenger side. It ain't gonna fit right now. What you got to do is you got to bend this brake line. You got to bend it down. Okay. So once you bend it down, you'll be able to hook the bracket on there and everything else. But we'll video that because it's probably gonna be a little pain in the ass. So bending the brake line down just like that.
That's a vacuum liner.
And now that we bent it down, that sumbitch, the bottom bracket will fit. So I'm gonna let him put the bottom bracket on there. We ain't gotta film that. I mean, we did it on the other side. You saw how to do it, but you can't. It won't go down long enough until you bend it. You gotta bend it. So we're just gonna tighten this, and I'll start the video again. All right, so we got the bottom in now. Now this can only fit one way. You see, it's got a little thing. It's got to go through that hole up top. So, boom, stick that sumbitch in there like that, and then you'll use the factory hardware that came with it. And we're gonna have to bend this around somehow.
Sure, we got some room.
Yeah,
still.
It's close.
Might have to
put that on first. So yeah, put that on there like that.
Yep.
And you have to bend it up again to fit. But you just gotta do some finagling. But the sumbitch goes on there like that. It can only fit one way, so you'll figure it out. We're just trying to pull some of this to pull a little of that brake line up higher for us. Just give us a little bit more room. So like I said, you're gonna have to do some finagling to figure it out. You can buy aftermarket brake lines, you know, or you can just do this shit. Just trying to get it to fit right. Like I said, you're gonna have to do it yourself and figure out how it's gonna go. But that goes back, and then to bend it. Boom. All right, we got it in there now. We're gonna start that nut or that bolt, and that's how it's gonna be for right now. Tighten it up, and you just got, like I said, it's gonna take a little finagling to get it how you want it, but just know you've got to bend that brake line down to make room to even hook up the bottom side. So all right, once you got your new bracket up here, you got to put that, remember that retaining clip we pulled out in the beginning of the video? You're gonna have to put that sumbitch back in there. I don't know what this is. Oh, fucking hell, there's a big ass. Anyway, you're gonna have to get it back. Can't really film, sorry, but you get to, I can see that pretty good. You have to, yeah, I'm blinding you. Anyway, that retaining clip's got to go back up in there. Just like that. All right, so over there where I was showing you what we got in the little package, it's got nuts and bolts. You're gonna have this thing right here. Okay, this is gonna go over this like this, and there's a hole in the brake line extending bracket. So you just put that up there and put the bolt through it. So this is gonna hold this like that. I mean, real pretty damn simple. Do it. All right, so got all the brake lines redone, did the bracket here, and then like I said, I just showed you we just tightened that up, so it's good to go now. Now we're gonna move to the passenger side. We ain't got to film or show none of that shit because it's the same. All right, you cunts. I messed up and I told you wrong. So the brackets, I am gonna show you. So this bracket is straight. The straight one is on the passenger side. See how this bracket's like, it's like angled and shit, okay? So the angled one goes on the driver's side. The straight bracket goes on the passenger side. Now, I'm just letting you know that. We ain't gonna film the passenger side, but just know you use the straight one on the passenger side. So you can see we had to kind of bend the line back and reshape it a little bit. You're just gonna have to bend it to your liking. You're gonna have to bend them. So here's that retainer clip, putting it back in there. But you're not gonna be able to fit without bending the line some. So what you need, dog?
Something to push this clip in, hammer.
Here. Here's this mallet. Will this work? Got it?
Yep.
All right, so that's in there. Now we're gonna tighten. To be honest,
we'll reform it all.
yeah, we'll reform it.
We took
But
out of that clip.
so you're just gonna have to kind of bend it how you want to. Just be careful, but you can bend the lines and it's fine. But the passenger side's a shit ton easier than the driver, because on the passenger side the retainer clip's facing out. On the driver's side, oh dumbass engineer decided to put that sumbitch in the back where you can't see it. So whatever, but that's what we did. So everything's the same. It's just much easier on the passenger side. Just about like everything else, because the damn ABS sensor up here, we had to take it apart from up top the motor and before we drilled the holes. And so passenger side's a breeze. Got my hand over there doing them brake lines real quick, you know. I can't be bothered with that shit because I'm over here cracking fucking lattes.
Hey, what was that noise?
It was the push. Fucking crap. So now we're moving on to the sway bars. Here's the sway bar drop extension bracket thingy.
So open end will face the inside of the truck, and they'll face each other, one on each side.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get the angle to where it angles to the front of the truck. So
Okay. So yeah,
this will go
angling. Yep. Towards
like that.
down, and the outside going facing in.
Yep. And these are slotted a little bit, so we'll be able to play with it.
All right. So we're gonna put that on both sides, and then we'll report back. Putting that side in, and then we'll do this side. So y'all can figure that shit out. All right. So now we're on this sway bar right here. You got to put this bracket back on there, okay? And then you lift it up, and it's gonna bolt right there to the damn. Sorry, my finger's in the way. It's gonna bolt to this. So I mean, shit. It's gonna come with some, what, 9/16 bolts.
These are 3/8 bolts.
Three-
Taking 9/16.
Yeah. So then you put them through the top like that, and then you just gotta finagle it to put the bolts in there. I'm gonna help him do that, and we'll start again when we're done. So we left these top brackets up here a little loose so you could slide them. So he's tightening his end right there, getting it tight, because we obviously, you see we got the sway bar connected. Now he's gonna tighten these bolts down here on the bottom, and when he's done, I'll do the same damn shit. All right, boys, we got the brackets down tight, everything's tight. Okay, next thing they want you to do is this vacuum line right here. There's holes in here for it to go. I don't guess it's going, but they want us to zip tie it to this perch right here, so we're gonna zip tie it right there. All right, so next step, this old Pitman arm right here. When we took this sumbitch off from the beginning, you know, it was at the top, but you got to rotate this sumbitch and it come in from the bottom now. Sorry about my fingers in the way. God bless me with big fingers and a big dick, and I ain't complaining. But so you got to come in from the bottom now. The top one, you know, back when we first took it off, it was from the bottom. So just letting you know, you're gonna have to rotate that, and you probably can't get an impact in it. You got to use a ratchet. So, well, boys, we run into a problem. When we was beating this sumbitch off, you know, you like the way that sounded too, didn't you? We was beating this sumbitch off when we was taking it off, Pitman arm up there. You see the threads done got bent up. I don't know if you can see it. It's bent. So we're gonna get it. We can't get the bolt. This sumbitch bolt won't, or the nut won't throw it back on that sumbitch, because you can see it's wallered right there. So we're gonna have to get it hacksaw and cut this sumbitch right here. That's what we finna do. So be careful when you're beating that thing to get it out of the Pitman arm. Before we used them gear pullers, we was beating the hell out of it. obviously you can see it bent to bolt, so we're going to cut it with a hacksaw right here. So try not to make the same mistake we did. Hell yeah. So I had these channel locks here. I was holding this sumbitch. He had this bandsaw right here. We cut the top of it out. Now that sumbitch threading right on there like it was made from the factory, son. I'm tired of shit. Everything we running into is a pain in the ass. But we're conquering and overcoming that shit. You know why? Because we got fucking lattes on hand. Where they at? Right over here. I'm aggravated. So that actually worked out legit. But I almost want to save this like I was in World War I or something, and this is the shit that shot me and I almost died, but it didn't, and I beat it. Alright, so we got this pretty much tight now. And then, yep, there's the hole. Here's this cover we had earlier. And that cover goes, yeah. I'm gonna have to spin it a little bit. Well, I don't. There you go. Now the pin can come through. It was that little thing was blocking it. All right, sweet. Boom, son. Once you got that, you got to bend your cotter pin back, and you're good to go. So I don't think I got to film that. Y'all, somebody just know how to bend that back. I don't know if you remember when we was taking this Pitman arm off earlier. We undid this shit. We're just tightening it back up now. That was so we could twist it a little bit, but we're just gonna tighten it up now. So do that. All right, we spraying the damn silicone spray just like before. Same shit. Go ahead, you're good. And luckily on this sumbitch, there's only one of these sleeves, so you can't get it wrong. Let me hold it.
If it goes in crooked.
Maybe I can. I got.
Well, this is spinning on. There it is.
So then that we're good to go. Bring that over to the vise and we're good.
No, it's not.
Boom. All right, we did this end, same shit on this end. You know, we got to spray it and put it in there. And then this one will go inside this end. Got that sucker in there.
Tough.
And then it says you got to extend your shock like 4.5 to 4 3/4 or something. All right, so we're putting the stabilizer. God dang, Cole. Putting the stabilizer on. So here's your track bar drop bracket right here. And you know, the factory stabilizer I think went through this right here, I don't know. But when you get you're gonna have this bolt right here. It's gonna come in your lift kit package. You're gonna put this bolt right here. That's what your shock's gonna mount to. And that there's a hole right here in your track bar drop bracket that it bolts to. So you'll have to put this in through here like this, tighten it up on both ends or whatever. And then your shock will go over here like this. And anyway, that's what you got to do. So, and when you get your stabilizer, you're gonna have to put the bushings in and stuff. And the piece with the metal sleeve goes in the end that doesn't retract out. See, this one just has a rubber bushing, doesn't have no metal sleeve. The sleeve goes in on this end. I don't know. Huh?
I said I've got 2 washers. I guess it wants you to use a washer.
So you can see that the damn stabilizer goes over that right there. And we're going to tighten it up, end of story. And then we'll do the other end down there. So we're going to tighten that up off camera. All right, so we got that nut up there tightened. Now it's time to put this bracket on down here. Am I blinding you, dog?
Nope.
That bracket goes up. It's supposed to, I need to pull it out some.
Yep. Oh, come in.
In.
Come
In.
Right there.
All right. What is it, 4 3/4 or something?
Between 4.5 and 4 3/4.
All right. So here's this. Let me get you a fucking washer on this sumbitch right here. Try and do it one-handed. Here you go. There's that. You sorry bastard. Here, right there, try that. Am I blinding you? Alright, there you go. Here's this washer right here. And here's this nut. Alright. U-bolts, put this. Alright, so I'm gonna help you put these U-bolts on. I'll do it off camera. Alright, so what the fuck? Hold. It's on video mode. Alright. So you put these up on under here like this, and then you tighten all that shit up. So I'm gonna do that off camera. Alright, we got these tightened up now. So stabilizer's on. That's what it looks like on that end. That's what it looks like on this end. That shit's tight. Alright boys, day 3. Hopefully this is the last day. It really ain't been that bad. We just don't know really the best what we're doing. But we're figuring it out. But if we had to do it again, it'd be a bunch easier. Also, we got a new this new cotter pin for the Pitman Arm. We reused the factory one. It comes with a new one. Put it in if you want. Just gonna throw that in there. And these shocks, when we put the shocks in, we put it on the top first, and I just grabbed this right here and pulled up to compress it. But after reading and doing a lot, or just looking around online, a lot of people put the bottom in first because it's easier to grab this big part right here than just the cylinder and pull up like that. But you can do it either way. But when you got them right there, son, I just grabbed it down here in the skinny part. But either way, 6, half a dozen the other, I don't know. Just make sure you got your bushing up there set right. But today, all we got right now, we got to do the track bar. That's all. The track bar in the front.
That's all that's left.
Yeah, all we got to do is do the track bar right now, and then we got these blocks we're gonna put in the rear. So it shouldn't take too long at all today. So track bar, we'll set up on that right now, and then we'll do the rear, and then we'll be done. Let's roll. All right, so now we got this track bar drop bracket right here, and it's got these shims as well. And you see the holes farther to this side where my thumb's on. If you go this way, the hole's farther to this side. But they slide up. It's just like what we had earlier. They slide up in there like, well, come on, dumbass. They slide up in there like that, and the hole goes towards the driver's side. So you don't want to flip it like this, because then the hole would be going towards the passenger side. So the hole goes towards the driver. Track bar is going to go back up in there like that, and then your bolt's going to go through it. Now you've got another shim on this side over here. Same thing, hole on the driver's side. We're going to put this up together real quick. My bad, dog. We're going to put this together real quick, and then I'll proceed filming when we're tightening it up. All right, we're trying to beat it up a little bit to line it up. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, so it's not really moving up anymore. It's pretty close, looks like. Can't go up any further. Let me put this camera down and help your ass. We're just gonna have to line it up. All right, y'all. So we're lacking about this much. The track bar's got to come towards me some, because this shim won't line up. So the axle we've got to pull towards us. So what we did was put this ratchet strap right here on the frame, and then I'll show you where he hooked it on the other end. Got here on the passenger side, hooked the other strap right there, and then now he's just going to ratchet it, and it's going to pull the axle over to where this bolt will slide in. Did that get it, that last click? Yep. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, that was it. Well, now I'm a little bit too far now.
You are?
Yeah, but I think
if I let off?
I think if you let off, it'll slide in. I'm in it. It's just a little bit like, maybe it's just meant to be loose. I think that's good right there. There you go. Perfect.
That's it?
Yep. That was awesome. Good idea. So anyway, if you can't get your shit lined up, you're gonna have to get a ratchet strap on it and bring it over a little bit. All right, we're tightening this bolt up right now. All right, boys, we got the front done. Track bar's tight, everything's good right there. We're gonna move on to the back. We got these got these shocks we're gonna put on the back. First we're gonna do is take the old ones off. So, I mean, it ain't but 2 bolts. It's, you know, 1 bolt here, the other shock bolt's up top. He's figuring out what size bolt it is, and then once we figure it out, we'll let you know. All right, we're gonna take this lower shock off. This is 18 millimeter right here. This side's a 21. So, I mean, damn, you gotta loosen the bolt. I don't really think I gotta film that part. Need me to help push up on it, or? Now all it is this top bolt up there. Gotta take out. Just come right off. Bushing's stuck up here. There we go. All right, so we got our shocks. This part with the metal is going to be facing up towards the bed. This will be down. Now it comes with these 2 bushings right here. This metal sleeve can only fit in one with the bigger hole. It can't fit in this one. So you're going to put this sleeve inside this bushing, and the ones with the sleeve, the metal sleeve, is going to go down in the bottom. Okay, and then this one is going to go up top. It doesn't have the metal sleeve. So that's how you got to do it. And we're going to spray the silicone on it, you know, put it in here with the silicone, and then once we go bring it back to the truck, we'll film that. But we already showed you how to put them in the dam. You know, I guess I can watch a little bit longer, but that's in there. Then you spray it again, and we'll put it in this vise over here. And then once we go install it in the truck, then I'll good.
Yep.
That's it. And then this other side, you know how to put it in there. And then once we go to the truck, we'll video all that. Finna take these U-bolts off. Just 15/16 is, I think. Then we're just gonna loosen that side for right now. We're not gonna take all the bolts all the way off. We're just gonna loosen it for the time being, and then we'll start the video when that's done. I forgot to mention, before we took these off and loosened that, we had the axle supported with this jack right here. So before you loosen anything, get your jack under there and support your axle, then loosen everything. I didn't video that part. Whenever you put this new block on it, you know it's got a little dimple right there and a hole right there, and you can see the dimple's going to go right there, and the hole's up top, and it's got to go with this facing the driver's side because that's for the bump stop to hit, and it's hollow on that end, so that bump stop it has to hit that. So I'll probably have to help him line it up, but you're gonna have to lower it a little bit more, huh? But anyway, we're gonna lower the axle a little bit more, fit this sumbitch in there, and then that's probably good. Bring that axle over. You want to jack it up a little bit? I can hold it,
yeah,
to make sure it goes in. So he's just going to jack it up, and I'm going to make sure that goes in that hole. A little bit, little bit, little bit. She's in the hole. She's in. All right, so we're going to have to do a little finagling well, I guess when you put the U-bolts back over it and suck it down, it'll tighten it up, but that's all it is to it. Now we're going to put these U-bolts on here and tighten it up. All right, so you're going to reuse this little stock bracket, but you're going to have new nuts and washers to hook it up, but you got to reuse that when you bolt it back up. So that seems to be pretty self-explanatory, but you don't never know. Anyway, all he's doing is putting this on here. We're gonna put the nuts and washers on there. I don't think I gotta film that. All right, now we're gonna tighten it up, and obviously you don't fucking hammer down on one side. You do it evenly. So a little bit, you know. Anyway, that's what you gotta do. And unless you got a damn socket, deep as shit. I mean, this is already a deep well socket, but I mean, good God, we have to finish the rest of it by hand. All right, so we're finagling these shocks in here now. We're gonna figure it out. We'll probably have to get to either the top or the bottom end, and you know, like before, compress the other side. So he's got the top one hung on that bolt up there. He's just gonna put the nut on it. I don't think I gotta show you all that, but that's what he's doing. And then see how strong he is. Here, get this bolt right here. I'm trying to get it. I can't see because of your hand. A little bit more, you're close. Come on. Damn, you're close, son. Let me push on it. Let me see. I don't know the fucking hammer. A little bit. A little bit. Nope. A little bit is close. All right, hold that. I think it might have to come down a hair. Anyway, look, you just gotta line it up. It's close, but I'm gonna help him with two hands. And you just tighten that one up and the top one up. I'm not gonna film the other side. I mean, shit, you're gonna have to figure out how to do that. All right, out of breath, tighten that son of a bitch, but this shock's on now as well. Everything is done. Now all we gotta do, we gotta put the tires on, and we never tightened these yet. I think when you lower it, it's supposed to like load whatever, I don't know. Once we put the tires and get the weight on it, and that's when we're going to tighten this radius arm right here on the upper part. But hey, what'd you say about when it lowers, it does something?
Preload with the rubber and the bushing.
Yeah, something about you don't want to tighten it till after it's down there. It's going to preload the rubber and the bushing. So once we got the tires on, the jacks out of there, then we'll tighten that shit up. But it's pretty much the whole damn thing. She coming along. We got this one more side to get. We got that rear, we got this front right here. All right, now that it's on the ground, we tightening up that bolt on the upper part of the radius arm right there. That's all we got to do. This one too. And then we'll get up under here and check all these brake lines, make sure nothing's in the way. Everything's clear. So we'll turn the tire and turn the wheel and make sure it's clear and everything's cleared and we're good to go. But she's done. Well, we on the old test drive. Who the hell listens to Luke Brown? Oh, that's Chris Young. He's all right. Look at this fucking iPad Tesla screen he's got here. Well, every time I look at this truck, I feel like a bigger peasant than I already am. You can't park next to me ever.
Well,
Ever.
I'm fine with that.
Like, those little bumps right there, my teeth would have got knocked out. I mean, now I do have a ready lift.
This is the roughest road we have.
It's high dollar, that ready lift, you know. But I'm just trying to see how this BDS compares so far. I would probably go with BDS.
Look, I'm just telling you. I mean, it's expensive to have a good taste.
Yeah. And it's hard being poor. I'm just telling you that. Oh, this thing's sweet, man. Like,
Oh my God.
really drives, like, it's just gliding. Like, it's smooth as shit, son. BDS, send me some shit right now.
Even the back's a little softer.
Dude, it's right here. I'm gonna be able to, like, that's nice.
Like, this is a rough part coming up. You know how it goes, that whoop-de-whoops up here at the
Yeah.
change the asphalt.
This thing looks. Whenever I pass you on the road, I'm just gonna close my eyes and pray I don't wreck. Right here, like nothing. My shit would have
It
done.
would have rattled a dash.
I could have done jumping rope. My truck be jump rope right there. Still.
And these are new tires too, and you know they're supposed to be a little bit different. Watch it.
Dude, this is like. This is where it's at right here. This is smooth as shit. Let's just go off in this ditch and hit that mailbox, see what happens.
Someone already did.
That was me. My shit got bounced off the road last night when I left your shop. But damn spaceship up in here. I see these lights are new. My 18 doesn't have those rear lights like that. That's pretty cool. Mine is embroidered XLT on the, so you ain't the only one that has something cool. Like mine's XLT. I don't know what one's better, but oh, it's nice, man. You happy with it?
I love it. It's way smoother than I even thought it was gonna be.
All right, so here's a little side-by-side comparison. Here's my peasant model. Anyway, I'm running a 2.5 inch ready lift puck and then a 1 inch on under the spring, so it's really a 3.5 inch in the front, but with the weight of the bumper and the winch, it probably brings it down. But 4 inch, 3.5 in the front, probably really a 2.5. But it you can really tell the difference, like in the gap in the wheel wells. So you know that's where you can, because mine looks pretty stuffed, where his has, you know, ample room. But so go this back side over here. Well, this side sucks because the sun ain't shining on it, but that thing turned out just freaking amazing. Beautiful if I've ever seen one. He did have to do just a little trimming right here. He trimmed that a little bit. It was rubbing a little bit. You gonna get that on them big jobs. Hell, I trimmed mine. He's probably gonna have to trim, I would think, in here too. You know, when it hits a bump or something, I had aftermarket wheels at one time, and you can see where I trimmed mine. But the hood's quite a bit taller. It looks sweet. How good does that look, just rolling up? That's mine on this side over here. That's my ride. Just letting him drive it. We're gonna try to get a little comparison of the mirrors so you can kind of really see the difference. That's good. So you can see the mirrors a good bit. So when you think, oh, it's not that much, but when you look at it like this, it looks quite a bit taller. So like I said, the mirror really kind of puts it in perspective how much taller it is. Let me get up under this thing. And then, you know, and the back seems like it's quite a bit taller. You know, with my camper shell it'd be up to here, but the difference is, you know, the tires are the same exact size, but his wheels are so much wider that they just look like they dwarf mine. They're both 37 1350s on 20s. But then again, the sidewall on the Toyo MTs are quite a bit more aggressive than the Ridge Grapplers, but they look quite a bit meaner. Same size, but his look a lot bigger. All right, so we're right at 37 on mine. Pretty close. I ain't building no pianos, but and this is like 40 1/4. So it's high. Some bitch looks good. Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you.
That's we just want to do a little walk around, so a comparison of, you know, you put it, but then you don't have it next to another truck. Most people are going to run a 2.5 inch, but this kind of gives you the, you know, side-by-side comparison of what to expect. So we just want to throw this in the video as well. Dude, I love your shop, but I'm just letting you know, I'm ready to get the hell out of here. But we got that shit done, you know. Old Freedom Funnel's got to make an appearance. I had to make this sumbitch Freedom Funnel, you know. But anyway, we're gonna push. Let me just take a little sip. I don't know if I'm following the whole thing because your boy's getting old. I don't know if I can handle it anymore. All right. Fuck. You like it though?
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I tell you what I love, being a fucking peasant. I pulled up this damn.
How much can I pay you to go get a line for me tomorrow?
I'll take a case of lattes. Bush. All right, y'all. Look, appreciate you watching the channel. Damn, I'm about to cry, big old puss. Appreciate y'all watching the channel. If this helped you anyway, man, I appreciate if you'd like, hit the sub button. It'd really help. My boy Chad over here, man, I appreciate you letting me borrow your truck or letting me film you. My hand over here, we're doing all the work, but I might have helped a little bit. But if you got any questions or you're looking to figure anything else out that we didn't go over, which I don't know, we went over about everything we could.
About everything.
Some
stuff may be able to be done out of order.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you ain't got to follow our order,
but
when we put the sumbitch and drove down the road, it was working. So
no rattles. No,
yeah. So the only thing.
Only because you talked me through everything.
Oh yeah, I was the lead on the job for
I'm
sure.
Just a tool hand.
I stay a lead. It's just my hand over there. But look, hit the sub button. Appreciate it. If you got any comments, put them down there, and I'll try to answer as best I can. And I don't know shit, like I said, but my man over here does. So I'll just ask him, and he'll tell me what to type. But till next time, appreciate y'all. God bless. One more thing, my buddy Chad over here, him and his buddy Josh just started a YouTube channel called Threaded Barrels. It's going to be cooking, stuff around the house, shooting guns, just man shit. So it's a pretty cool channel. But I'll throw it in the video description, and it's Threaded Barrels. But I'll put it up on the screen, or if I don't do that, it'll for surely be in the video description. But give him a check out and hit that sub button for him too. We'll grow this bitch together. Later.